And we're live.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I was just disabling all the recommendations of bullshit on my YouTube thing. No, I don't want to be a god-level DM like Matt Morrison. No, anyway, sorry.
So how's it going?
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Not a lot. I've been tired.
Ah, yes.
I'm a parent. I've been
Uh-oh.
dirt tired recently.
Yes.
So what I've been doing? Nothing.
Nothing.
I keep meaning to do more play tests of the little kind of mint tin tactic game, and every time like everything at home is done, I'm just like, I'm too tired. Soon, hopefully.
Can't do it.
I gotta get it. It works. I think I gotta get it to a point where other people could not play it.
Oh yeah.
To get feedback. That's the hardest part. Just why can't you understand what I want the game to do?
Right,
like putting it into words. Anyway, that's the.
Yeah, definitely.
part,
It's like you have to cover every kind of assumption you're making, every kind of like ignorance of someone that's never played this kind of game before, like everything in a rule set.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I think, and yeah, Matt's right, that outgunned sword and sorcery thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was Taylor specifically. I'm like, it did the job. I upped my pledge, did everything, right?
Yes.
But anyway, yes. Sometimes I think it's much easier to write tabletop RPGs because the assumption is this cannot cover every edge case. All we can do is give you kind of like advice or guidelines, and you, the GM or the group, is going to handle it. Board games, card games, other games are different. You have to cover absolutely, or you have to write your rules in such a way that there is no ambiguity.
Right. You can't misinterpret or like there's not two meanings of, that's true. Yeah, because then you get like, players that are just going to lawyer you to death.
Yeah, which is why like I had a friend who was like a horrible pedant, kind of like myself. And he was great for playtesting because I could give him kind of the thing and he would go, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted you to be able to do. However, by the way I've written this, you absolutely can do this. So let's go tighten up that loophole. So anyway.
Nice. Well, and we can let people know, and you have
I get it up.
Yeah, you have a version of that posted, and they can take.
I'm aiming for a print and play kind of thing. Just to have people test stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Very good. Yes, and so outgunned. This way. Outgunned. We hung the poster in celebration. Almost half a million. I think they ended it. Yeah, they just had to keep like throwing stretch goals. There was like a truck was approaching, and they just kept throwing stuff underneath to try to satisfy the hungry backers. Yeah. But that was cool. Yeah, and like Matt said, it's going to be a heavy box now. There's a lot more in it.
It is. I'm not looking forward to the Japanese.
Yeah, and hopefully they may have the same kind of fulfillment situation, and it may be just because they're fulfilling to Asia, but they give you the stretch goal box and it doesn't have anything in it. It's an empty box, and all the stretch goals are in separately. Right. So it's a big box of peanuts with everything thrown in.
Like you said, you had mentioned that before, and you said it's probably easier to just put everything in the shipping box rather than pay someone the extra fee to load up the box.
The kind of a fulfillment house to kind of get everything in. Yeah, it probably was not worth it expense wise, and with the and that would have involved, because I think some people do that, and the UK got themselves in trouble now because they can't produce stuff from outside, produce stuff from in the UK and combine them without paying exorbitant fees. That's what happened to their kind of board game stuff that fell apart, is because now you can't include printed materials from China. It has to be done domestically, but that's more expensive. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things, and I think still there's not. I think still cargo ships are going around. What is that? The Cape Horn, whatever they're going around the continent of Africa to get to Europe now from Asia, because the canal is limited. So that adds a month of shipping and probably some considerable expense.
A month to experience more buyer's remorse. It's like, I didn't really need that.
Wait a month. Yeah. So things are still pretty messed up and expensive. Yeah. So
get used to it.
We'll see. Yeah. And so I don't envy the people that are doing large scale campaigns and stuff, but Two Little Mice have done a great job. They haven't been exceedingly late, and the quality of their components and stuff is so good that I'm not complaining.
Oh, that's not wood.
Oh yeah. I'm not complaining, but we'll see. We'll see how they do, and how expensive it gets. Because the more difficulty, the more expense they have to eat as far as logistics. Then the less profit, the less they can invest. So, but Outgunned did its thing. Outgunned Adventure. Sorry, did its thing.
Adventure. which is both supplement for and a kind of a standalone program.
Yeah. I thought that was a good idea. But it does seem, I think the success of the campaign was because they made the other previous stuff available as well. So the people's pledges were probably a bit higher.
But it was expensive to get previous. I mean, okay.
Yeah. No, it was. And their stuff always is. Yeah.
But I mean, like, okay. Part of what sold me on it, and I keep talking about it, is like when you lent me the books, I'm like, wow, I was not expecting this level of quality. The books, everything's like really nice. Then it's like, oh, maybe I'll go in for like the all-in thing, and I'm like, oh, that's like €300 to get absolutely everything. So,
yeah, they don't. They you pay what it's worth. So they.
I'm not saying it's not worth that. I'm just saying I was not willing to pay.
And that was the thing that made me hesitate for a second was that the first campaign, it was 3 books of that nice quality hardcover books, and then all the other extras. And this time it's 2 books for the same price.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it's just the Action Flicks 2 and Outgun Adventure Core. Those are the 2 main books. It was 3 main books last time, and so the main pledge was the same. There was so much extra stuff that they unlocked, and plus they are doing softcover versions of things that would have been just PDFs. And there's tons of extra cards and stuff now. So
maybe after that first one, they're like, we can't offer 3 books of that price anymore.
Yes. Oh yeah, and so we played the.
Yeah, we did. That's what got me to kind of pledge.
Oh, good. Oh wow! I sold you. Oh, I need credit. I need credit.
It's almost as if you're an influencer, Jeremy.
An influencer. I just influence in a very like a 1 meter radius. It doesn't work over the internet for some reason, but that's good. Yeah, and it seems like so. We played the introduction, that first act of the Project Medusa. Yep. And they advised this is your first time playing that, take out the enemy feats, enemy skills. Yeah. So it was easier. Combat was easier, but it seems like with adventure, they're saying, maybe we won't include those. Maybe they're maybe trying to streamline combat a little bit. Yeah. So it may be kind of an optional thing. Or maybe they kind of
streamlined it for Outgun Adventure because they don't want the focus to be on combat or something.
Right. Yeah, where you're just kind of running and gunning and not just like lining up and shooting and looking for cover.
Prior to playing that session, my takeaway from skimming the Outgun book was, this is a cool core mechanic that you've cruffed up with all these extra bits and doodads and stuff on top of it. So it's kind of like, right?
Yeah.
But then after playing it, I kind of went, okay, it seems like a lot of extra stuff on top, but most of the extra stuff seems to be, here's an extra die, you get a free reroll, where it didn't feel too brain burny.
Yeah.
Like anything you have to like internalize to kind of be able to play that quickly. But I'm like, okay, the extra stuff that I thought was just going to gum up the works actually doesn't. But I'd forgotten you had taken out the enemy feats. Maybe that would add another layer of complexity. But
and I think it'll make the enemies like more surprisingly difficult. They'll surprise you a lot more and be like suddenly more powerful. You're like, what the? What's happening? Especially when you're falling out of an airplane with no parachute.
You just cut the parachute off of another falling.
Right, that's all you need to do.
And then give them the idea to do the same thing.
Right, and then on the reaction turn, they're coming at you the same way.
Oh, we're going to do the same thing. Oh, that was a bad idea. Yep.
Yes. But we're gonna have to get some. We kit bashed, so we've got gangs. We've got to get some stuff.
I still got to glue all my stuff together. It's there, but I did sit down and with the book, my copy of the Forbidden Psalm End Times edition, and figure out, okay, this person gets that, this person gets that, and match up the attributes. I did swap out a couple things to just, kind of make sure they're not completely screwed.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll have to give those guys a shot and
watch them all die.
Watch them all die. Yeah, see who the unlikely hero is. Yeah.
So just quick, Matt pointed out that Outcome doesn't seem built to accommodate a long-form campaign.
Oh yeah.
I get what you're saying. I also kind of disagree because if they're going for pulp, action adventure, then kind of like I always said with Hollow Earth Expedition, a lot of the pulp stuff is the characters don't change. Right? Like across the entire run of Conan has like 3 distinct periods, but across like a lot of that pulp stuff, like the characters don't get stronger, they don't get better, they're just the same characters in different situations, and the things that change are like relationships. So if they're going for kind of that, then I don't think you necessarily need mechanical advancement for a pulp game. It's John Smith in Adventure number 39 or whatever it is, kind of it's the same character, just things are different now.
Yeah. Yeah, they made a recommendation in the book that I thought was interesting. So most of your adventures will be kind of 3 acts, like a movie, like a script, and they were recommending a trilogy, like you treat everything like a film, treat everything like that. So you could, it's very typical for Hollywood to make 3 movies, and it kind of can be different periods of the character's life or whatever. You could do a prequel movie or whatever. That wouldn't change things as long as it didn't change like the young old.
Well, that's the way to do it, right?
Set,
like we're like, okay, we've played this now. It's young Sherlock
Oh
Holmes.
yeah, right. Yeah,
or
Muppet Babies. Yeah, right.
God, that was actually okay.
Yeah. So and we're going to see like once this game is out there in a lot of people's hands, we'll see like what they end up doing with it, because I think there's interesting like flavoring and color that you can do with the symbols on the dice and things that haven't kind of come up yet that may be fun, like narratively and things like.
I did kind of want to do something with the dice.
Yeah. It's very, because they chose interesting symbols, so that kind of thing is fun, as in like with adventure and stuff. It's like, okay, I had a big success. It involves somehow my wardrobe, my hat,
How? My only thing there is if something actually happens with the symbols, though, they kind of just become like numbers.
Yeah, right. It's more,
which isn't
different,
bad or good.
Just,
Different.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I love Hollowworth Expedition, although it's a bit hard to run now for me.
Yes, right. We'll just use a different planet that's hollow, and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
No Reichs going on Mars. Right?
Hello Mars.
Yeah, Hollowworth. Yeah, it would be good times. Oh yeah, so and I had the idea too because I just got Mothership. We've played Aliens, and there's an Alien style flavor, like a flick, an action flick for Outgunned.
Oh,
so
really?
to play,
okay. Don't know. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, play Alien 3 times with the 3 different systems and see what fits better. Who wore it best?
Well, okay. Sure.
Uh-huh.
My thought was, as someone who continually argues that the rule system affects the feeling of the game, who wore it better is going to need more criteria. Because run an Alien RPG, run in Mothership, and then run in Outgunned, those are all going to be very different. Like, okay, Mothership and Alien RPG would be pretty similar. Outgunned would be Aliens, the action, right? Where...
That's true. The genre is going to be, you're going to probably be colonial marines. You're not going to be, I guess but it does work though, because, like Chris's hacker character was not pulling any guns and was not doing anything, but was surviving and having a big enough effect, like was an active player. Whereas I think in some other systems, it'd just be like, okay, I guess I'll just get into my refrigerator, my lead-lined refrigerator and wait this adventure out. Yeah, so...
I would do that though.
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
Be fun to try. Yeah, and just as these things come up, because it's interesting to test, what the feel and like, and because people are going to disagree, they have their own kind of taste. It's like, no, my idea of Alien is this. It's a horror. It's like a slasher horror movie, and as opposed to like people that are thinking Aliens, or even like the more extended, kind of Dark Horse Comics kind of Aliens thing, where it's a lot of intrigue and corporate espionage and stuff. Sorry about my cable. I have this very bizarre static thing going on with my cable. Oh, there. It may have been there. Okay, cool. I think it was on the board. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, we haven't officially started the podcast yet, and it's going to be time to go back to work any second now. All right. Well, let's get this started. So good to see everybody. Orcus and Matt and Calerion, everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us, and sorry for the weird staticky cable.
Oh, well, no one in chat said it's absolutely terrible. So.
It was a weird ruffling sound. Okay, so let's get started for this week.
I'm ready.
Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, just for you, Warhammer 5e actual play.
You specifically did a lot of preamble to cut my rant down, didn't you?
Yes.
Which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but okay.
The Grey Knight for Pendrangon 6th edition. Evil Genius Games heel turn. I guess
surprised about this?
Yeah, they've already already done this already, but we'll cover their latest.
This is a heel return.
Yeah, return. Yeah, they're doubling down on their heel status, and to lighten the mood, we'll cover what's available for Free RPG Day 2024, which is I think this Saturday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
All right. So let's begin with a topic Chris recommended. And
I'm sorry about this, everybody.
Yes. So it appears that a motley crew of clout-seeking, I'm going to, go after the biggest brands on tabletop and the internet and try to make this work. I don't know how they didn't work Star Wars in here somehow, but Heretic Hunt is coming. So a Dungeons and Dragons Warhammer 40K actual play. Nice. So Polygon talked with the people putting this together, and those people include Louise, Sugden, Chris Peachy, who both left Games Workshop and are doing quite well on YouTube. They carried their fame and creativity with them and made very entertaining YouTube channels. And this will be run by Daniel Saye, is the Dungeon Master. Actor Greg Jones, who's done voices on Bolter. Oh yeah, who's done some 40K voices on some PC games. And Jamila Hall is kind of the producer and will also be a performer. So they plan to produce 8 48-minute episodes, and the miniatures and terrain will be built and painted by the players.
Yep.
Of course.
Of course.
So yes, and Daniel Saye didn't really sell me on his whole interpretation when he the first thing he said in his interview is, "I've played War Dolly since I was a kid."
Nice accent. Nice accent.
So I don't know what accent that was, but it's probably his accent. But it's like, War Dollies, really? We're gonna do that?
That's what they are. That's what they are. I mean, like, my partner says, "What did you get? More little people?" I'm like, "Yes, I got more little people."
They're
right?
little people.
They're little people, right?
Yes, yeah.
dolls.
Dollies is pejorative, but they and also talking about his happy place of Dungeons and Dragons. So why not combine these two things together? So I have a lot of problems with how he's explaining, the love of storytelling. So especially in the Warhammer space, very interesting and fascinating, grimdark universe. So the players are going to be Inquisitorial agents, and some of them with a long history in the Inquisition. They're going to start their heretic hunt on Syrinx 2, a hive city in the world of 40K. So how did they do this? Well, they took most of the archetypes from D&D and kind of ported them over to a under hive 40K setting. And so everybody's kind of like, giving their cred that they are tabletop role players as well as war gamers.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of overlap there. So
yeah,
sure.
And Sugden talked about her, all the map work she's done. She's done a lot of work, and she has a passion for Necromunda. So we'll have a lot of creativity, probably helping build out that world. But the question was posed to Daniel: why was it important to go with Dungeons and Dragons rule set rather than something like Wrath and Glory? And he pointed to the shelf behind him and says, "I am familiar with these systems." So he has all of the 40K books, and then he went on to list, I love Vastgrim, Morkborg, Wrath and Glory, Soulbound. I'm deep in an RPG space, and I adore them. But D&D is the shared language that the majority of RPG players have. I don't think it's a shared language of storytelling. That's the thing he keeps going back to, is telling stories. It's like, okay. Yeah. So the efficiency of D&D is what makes it great for a storytelling medium with a mind for an audience. Wrong. I think that is just a misconception that Critical Role gave us.
Yeah.
I don't think the system
like, everyone is entitled to your opinion.
Yes,
so
yes.
I would have less a problem with this if I think he goes on saying they did like test kind of games with other ones. And anyway, he seemed to imply, the impression I got is that D&D just worked best for this group. It was easier to explain everything because maybe everyone was familiar. Okay, fine. You know what? Then kind of say that.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
I think that's instead of saying, it's this universal language of RPGs and everything. Yeah, to say that
it is a universal language of RPGs because no one has the market dominance that fucking Hasbro does, bro.
Right.
And you're just helping contribute to that. Like that's my takeaway here. That's my giant beef. Right?
Yeah. So they are just, and I think it's kind of obvious. Everybody involved is just trying to expand their personal brand, and they know, just looking at statistics on YouTube and things, D&D, 40K, those are the big boys, and you get huge audiences with those compared to anything.
Like that's the thing, and like, okay, I kind of had a minor blow up on Blue Sky, right? Minor because like you don't ever get the numbers that you did on X, right? But whatever.
Yes.
Like the whole thing was like, okay, there are what, 5, 6? Someone even said Inquisitor, which might as well have been an RPG. Like 6, 7.
Yeah.
more than 5 official Warhammer 40,000 role-playing game systems that you could have chosen. These were specifically made to play 40K.
Yeah.
So why you chose 5e, right? I mean, like, if you just said, you know what, 5e worked for all my players, the best. We didn't want to have to go through teaching people, so we chose this. I would buy that.
Yeah, right.
I would buy that. Or if you said, you know what, we understand D&D is going to get us the biggest eyes, I would say, cool. I can't disagree with that. I can hate your choice, but I can, right? It's this, it's the best for telling stories. I'm about like bullshit, absolute bullshit, right? I'm calling it right now.
Yes.
And like I had this kind of big rant on Instagram, right, where I said, past a certain level of attention, fame, or popularity, you're an influencer whether you want to be or not, which is hence my little influencer joke, right? Where we got people to buy Outgunned, right? Anyway, once you're an influencer, you don't kind of get a public choice. Any public choice you made is going to be interpreted as an endorsement.
Yes,
right.
Especially
if you're presenting it to an audience such as this AP, right? Like if you were just playing your own little home game, cool, right? No one can say, you're influencing people. But no, you're specifically making this for an audience to be consumed by an audience. Therefore, the choices you make are seen as endorsements.
Right.
A couple of people said, well, they should be allowed to play anything they want. Yes, they should at home.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
maybe they couldn't have chosen a 5e game because they're all ex-GW employees and didn't want to give it GW money. Bullshit. Why are you playing in the 40K universe then? Right? Play it Grim Dark Space, right? Or play something else that's not 40K, right? So, I don't know, man. Like, the shitty thing here is that, like, Hasbro and D&D is the GW Warhammer of TTRPG spaces, right? Like, you mashed up the two biggest things together, and I can't fault you for that business decision, right?
Right.
What I can do is call bullshit on your, these were the best for telling stories, blah, 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 because that's not really why you chose it.
Yeah.
So, that was a much shorter rant than I had planned. Okay. You're all welcome.
Yeah, and the approach, the producer-player Hall was talking about, typically you're talking about when people produce these actual play live streams, and we're guilty of this ourselves. We do, almost a 3 to 4 hour live stream. So
probably because we get to game like once in a fucking blue moon.
Yeah, right. And so if you're doing that as a series, and you're going to do something that's like 24 episodes long, that's like 80 to 100 hours of content. So there's a lot of investment for the viewers. So I don't like this. And I hope everyone doesn't start thinking this way. They're trying to package this content in a way that they can sell to streamers or make it digestible in a bingey kind of they're just trying to have a Critical Role style success, but trying to do less work, maybe more production, less work.
Okay,
so
from someone who tried to watch Critical Role, right? I tried to jump on like season 3 or whatever. Like I went, I'm like, I don't have 80 hours to listen to this thing. If people do, great. So again, I can't fault them saying, you know what? 40-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot more approachable. It's a lot more consumable. We want people to watch this who maybe don't have the 80 hours to invest in a series. So, cool. I'm fine with that. Right?
Yeah. And there's got to be, especially for the big streamers like Dimension 20 and Critical Role, there's got to be clips channels. Like, fans, fans will edit stuff down in like best of season 2 or whatever to make it more digestible so you don't miss, so you don't have to spend all the hours just to see the one funny role or whatever. It can be all like sports highlights. It can be the.
So like I just remember like my other beef is like, you chose D&D 5e. They said, this works the best for us instead of the other ones, right? Except it didn't have death rolls. We're not going to use the 5 of things. We're going to use inches and stuff so we can use our homage. Just like,
okay.
Okay, it's kind of like the ship of Theseus kind of thing, right? Like I hate how D&D has become the end all be all of just like, you can do anything in D&D.
If you got it.
If you tweak it and all that, like that's the unsaid part, right? So all this AP does is help prop up that D&D is anything for everything, and it works for everything as long as you go in and tinker with all the stuff, right? So why do we need all these 40K?
I know.
Just use D&D, right?
I know, and like Cubicle 7 is much. I think would appreciate the promotion much more than Games Workshop.
Well, that's the thing too, right?
And Hasbro, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah,
think it also pushes set pieces.
Yeah.
Right? And I understand this is for an audience, but when you go, oh, we're going to have these awesome terrain tables and all these things and painted miniatures, I'm like, cool. So if someone bypasses whatever, like in the story would lead to this encounter, you're going to railroad them back in, right? Or you're just going to go, well, all that, the last 2 weeks I spent putting this table together, let's just not use it, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I understand it's a different form of role-playing geared toward an audience and kind of audience consumption.
Yeah,
I don't like how Critical Role, and I'm going to assume this new 40K AP, are kind of like held up as examples of what the hobby are, because they're a very different animal from anything else. And I'm going to shut up about it now so that we can move on to other stuff.
Yeah, they're going to get a big audience, and it's going to increase everybody's numbers, and that's all they're trying to do anyhow.
Sure.
So,
and you know what? I can't fault them for that because, hey, you know what? If I was in a position to do the same thing, I would. Yeah. I just hope to God I would be honest about it and being like, here's the thing, right? If we ever go, oh, yeah, D&D is the best for storytelling. You know I've been like replaced by like a pod person, or I'm being held hostage against my will. I would just say, you know what? This is a business decision. I'm using the biggest one. Right. It's going to get me the most eyes. I've sold out. Sorry, everybody.
Well, that's that's when that corporate messaging, that bullshit where they just cover their motives, their economic or logistic motives for doing things with this. We feel this is the most expressive, the most creative, the most don't even. So they're going to package up these little episodes. They're not going to do very much, so we'll see. And the funny thing is, it's going to be a deadly game. So if they're going to play with the roles and be honest, they could have no characters at the end of the.
I don't know. They might.
Season
I kind of want to. I'm not going to watch it, but I kind of do want to see how it works.
And how the production and everything, because that'll also show you there's what money there is behind them. So we'll see. And I hope they're a little bit more transparent about that. I hope they have some, advertisers or sponsors that they're going to admit to, instead of, well, we're kind of getting stuff under the table from Games Workshop and blah, blah, blah. Because, that was the, anyhow, it's a little shady. But anyway, let's move on to something more fun. Right. Pendragon 6E is getting their first campaign.
I can't see a number in E without thinking. I'm sorry.
Yes. Edition, the 6th edition.
Right.
So Pendragon 6th edition gets its core rulebook, but it also gets a very famous early campaign. So the Grey Knight is coming out. So if you're looking for courtly love, knightly virtues, and monstrous vices.
What if I'm looking for like monstrous love, knightly virtues?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I tried to mix that
Knightly
up.
vices. Yes.
Knightly vices. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. So this is one of Pendragon's first campaigns. And the interesting thing that stood out to me is it spans generations. We keep kind of stumbling into that with John Carter and Dune have for the actual play of like, oh wow, they've got kids now, and so we could actually continue playing. This could become a generational game. Not yet, but we will.
I meant like
producing it. No. They just kind of showed up.
All right,
the stork,
as they do.
The Arrakis
Suddenly, kids.
Yeah, right, and. So a complete campaign, fully compatible with both, and this is nice, the starter set, which is already out, and then the newly released core rulebook. Cool. So you can start playing right away. So the Grey Knight waits for vengeance. The time is running out. Can you find the treasure that holds the key to defeating this vile foe and save the kingdom itself?
Is the Grey Knight gray because they waited too long?
Maybe he got old. Sorry. He got old. So it's a beginner-friendly campaign book. And the other interesting thing is it contains the 2 prequel scenarios from the starter set.
Okay.
So you have a little bit of duplication in this book because you already have that starter set, but then you've got multiple copies of things that I think it's all soft cover in the starter set if it's Chaosium. But you'll also get to meet Arthur, Guinevere, Merlin, and Morgan Le Fay in this early one of their earlier campaigns. It's it sounds like a good place to start, and maybe like themed well enough. And there's also a beautiful map of England included, so you'll have all kinds of wonderful things to use for your campaign. So that's good to see. It's good to see they're getting stuff out.
I've been interested in Pendragon for a while, though I probably will never get to play it. But the generational thing intrigues me.
Yeah, I think so. So that's good to see. Chaosium is getting stuff out. So now we have the core book and our first big campaign for Pendragon. So I'll put a link on the description to both the PDF and then the hardcover on the Chaosium store. So let's get a little dark here. So Evil Genius Games, who actually
lives up to their name.
Yes, they actually published, or I think online, published a manifesto saying that they will not go near any of this Web3 technology.
Publish a manifesto, I kind of instantly.
Yeah, you're instantly a little dangerous. Yep. So Dave Scott, the used car salesman of the tabletop universe, is now trying to figure out a way, because things are collapsing, and we reviewed, there was a wonderful breakdown of the history of Evil Genius Games, and they're kind of, we had a little bit of, remember that moment when they got screwed by Netflix over the deal for the
over the Everything movie.
Yeah, right, the Everything movie, and so for a minute we were like, never mind, and decided to stop feeling sorry. Yeah, they published that Technology Code of Ethics back in February, and now I think it's digitally they've burnt every byte of it because. Evil Genius Games is back, and they have decided to move full speed ahead. And how do we know this? Well, I'll put a link again to that Rise and Fall of Evil Genius Games that was done really, really well. But they attended a Consensus 2024, which is a Texas-based convention run by CoinDesk, which is the world's largest, longest-running, and most influential gathering that brings together all sides of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the Web3 community. What are they doing there? So they decided to enter a competition to pitch how they would approach doing TTRPG in this Web3 environment. So
I don't know, man.
Everything's on the table.
Web3 and like AI, it's just like there are solutions that don't have problems.
Yeah, right.
And so you try and come up with problems about why you have to use them.
Yes.
And it's all just bullshit.
Yes. So, and a quote from Scott himself. So we made the decision not to do AI in October and then not to do Web3 in December, but apparently it wasn't good enough for to allay any concerns. And then we had all the resignations. We brought our team together and felt a public, was their code of ethics statement, because they lost a lot of people that were suspicious that they were going to do whatever they wanted. And this kind of proves it. So unfortunately, well, and this even smells a little bit like new TSR, because there was a funny thing involved. So they are a quote from from Scott that when he introduced this pitch is, we make turn-based RPGs on a chain based on famous blockbuster movie franchises that we all know and love. So that's what they have. Those are the rights they have, and this is what they're going to produce. And here is the here's the scenario. Here's the pitch. Imagine a scenario where you could actually buy an NFT utilities that are exclusive to these licenses. You could actually fly, or actually pilot Gypsy Danger. You could carry Rambo's M60, and all of these have a value that can be bought and sold and traded. But more importantly, in a Roblox, why name Roblox? Roblox fashion, we're going to allow other people to actually create their own NFTs, which can be thrown onto a marketplace. That's because they're so valuable, where they can buy, sell, and trade those adventures as well. Yikes. So basically,
that was obviously pitched at people who don't play role-playing games, and just like,
you know how Roblox works? Well, same thing. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like reading that, just like,
yeah,
who would do that?
Right. So defining their creator marketplace a little bit more, they explained, a character sheet, right, in an RPG. So all the components of the character sheet will have objects on it, and all those objects will be NFTs. In addition to the actual character sheet itself, that will be mined as an NFT as well. So that means that if you use a character as an NPC in the future, you actually pay you royalties on the character itself. It gets better. So the whole thing is based off of objects which have there's a little typo there, that have NFT components to them. Yeah, wonderful.
I have no idea how any of that would work.
Poorly, I imagine, quite poorly. But the thing that smelled a little new TSR to me was he also stated that Jeff Grubb of Dragonlance and D20 Modern fame is working for the company. Naming the father of modern day Dungeons and Dragons. But very quickly, Grubb made it clear, I guess it was earlier this year, that he has no current involvement with Evil Genius Games, and his employment of them consisted of him writing a foreword in 2023 to one of the Everyday Heroes books. But now he's an employee. He's a full-time. He's committed. He's involved in the project.
Yeah,
he wrote it forward.
Smell new TSR-ish.
Yeah, it doesn't that just like pulling some names out there to legitimize their nonsense. Yes, and well, if that doesn't sound promising, how about if I tell you that a wallet as service company named Stardust is also going to be involved in, the handling of these transactions, because, all of these companies with these wacky new names are completely legitimate, because they will democratize the blockchain technology for developers and players at scale. So obviously they met at a convention.
Sorry, my brain turned off about like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so that had a lot of fun comments underneath it, because this is also people that read the Rise and Fall article, and one of my favorites was from O'Brien. Nobody wants any of this. Nobody's going to buy some Magic Sword NFT on some corporate marketplace for $200 or even $2 to use in a TTRPG. The whole point of a TTRPG is that you make a naughty word up and pretend to be elves with your friends. If the GM wants to hand out a magic sword, they hand you a magic sword. You don't need to buy a token on a blockchain for that, and you certainly don't need to buy whatever cryptocurrency Evil Genius Games is going to shill for it.
That's pretty good. Exactly.
But just as a little addition here, Embracer said, well, hold my Eldritch beer, because we are fully committed to incorporating AI technology in video game development. So the tentacles are still at play, still reaching. So they have laid off, Embracer Group, among their assets, has laid off 1,500 employees and canceled 80 projects in mostly video game development. But they say, we are committed to massively enhance the production process by increasing resource efficiency, adding intelligent behaviors, personalization, and optimization to gameplay experiences, all with AI. They don't know quite how they're going to do that, but that's what they're going to do, right? Because they're saying AI can also be used within such areas as logistics or HR, AI HR, to improve planning, decision-making, support talent acquisition, and enhance employee experiences or retention. So the AI is going to get you to stay at your desk. So wonderful. Yes. So Embracer Group is committing to utilizing AI with their operations. And this should be really fun, because AI applications comprehensive and require, among many other things, documentation, risk assessment, as well as continuous updates. And AI's got you covered with all of that.
Computers should never be put in the position where they make a decision, because computers cannot be held accountable.
Right. And especially by people's livelihood, like feeding their families. Sorry, we calculated you as a risk. But it just seems like this is one of those things where, people, you're at a concert, at a live show, and somebody stands up. They're not sitting in their seat anymore. Somebody stands up, and then everybody stands up. All of the software publishers and are basically already saying, we're committed to investigating this. So Sony, Square Enix, and Ubisoft have already said, we're looking into this as well. So once somebody does this, everybody has to do it, or else you can't compete. In whatever streamlining this is going to cause.
This is also the result of shareholder.
Yes.
Stuff,
yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And be able to have the buzzword and say, we're into AI, guys. So have faith. Stay positive. We'll get you those.
Absolutely not.
Those dividends you've been dying for. Yeah. So I like that Embracer kind of had to chime in and stay committed. But let's end on a happier note. So Free RPG Day is June 22nd, 2024. And we have on their website a cute little pop-ups. Yeah, we're using a new monitor. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Not this Chris, other Chris, not Wayne Chris. Yes.
Yeah.
So on their website, they got a little pop-up. So some of the things that are being offered. So Ninth Level Games is doing, the guys that do the Return to Dark Tower RPG are doing a fun one-shot and an anthology, an indie anthology. Guillotine Games and Come On are promoting their Plague Bearer Dark Fantasy, which is the Zombicide Dark Ages setting. Free League has got you covered with Dragonbane, the Sinking Tower. So the official tournament adventure for Dragonbane. Who else do we got here? Goodman Games is doing their Across the Veil of Time for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Kobold Press, what do they got for you waiting at the store here? So come on this big card table. The Shards of Spellforge. So a compatible a 5e or Tales of the Valiant compatible adventure. And who else would we see? Magpie, Rebels and Refugees, and of course Avatar Legends Dice, because that's their big puppy. The multiverse, Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is, to me, X-Men, an X-Men adventure that you've all been waiting for. Paizo's got a Pathfinder, the Toy Heist, and for Starfinder, Second Contract. Those sound familiar. I hope they are not repeating themselves. But adventure for each of those. Artelsarian is Shadowscar. That's right. So we talked about this a little bit. This is Cody Pondsmith's kind of Japanophile kind of mashup of cyberpunk and samurai and everything you possibly could love about your favorite Japanese pop culture.
That doesn't actually exist in Japan.
Yes, it doesn't actually exist, but anyhow, it's fun. It's fun, and the funny guys that I'm totally blanking on Renegade are giving you Red Tundra for Werewolf and Unnatural Disaster for, I don't know, the RPG that's going to include somehow G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and My Little Pony all combined together. Yes. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So good luck with that, guys. And for Roll20, of course, you'll get a free month. You'll get a free month. Lots of fun stuff. Oh, and Wet Ink. That's right. Wet Ink is going to give you Garbage and Glory. So this is an adventure for their Trash Panda new system and setting. Play as raccoons in a fantasy garbage dump world. Yeah, so it's a fantasy setting where you all play raccoons and
that
trash.
Could be funny. I mean, I have feelings on Redwall-esque style RPGs where everything's so cute and fun. And like, as long as they love swords and they're still killing shit, I'm like, it doesn't matter how cute the protagonists are. They're still murdering each other out here, right?
Right. Yeah. That's true. And lastly, Steamforged Games is bringing you their a quick start for their RuneScape Kingdoms. So lots of fun stuff. And I think some of the dice and figure makers are giving you samples of dice and stuff. So, hey.
Of course, we won't be getting any of that.
We won't be getting any of it. We have to. I think you can, if you're a brick and mortar shop like abroad, you can request, them to send you a package. And you got to pay a hell of a lot for shipping. Yeah. So it doesn't quite become that profitable for a somebody outside their local markets. But yeah, so check that out if you've got any stores that are supporting it. And I think you could,
if you have stores that are supporting it, then by all means, like, go check it out and go buy something from the store. So.
Right, yeah, grab the free stuff off the table, but also patronize the store.
Like with money.
With money, not just make fun of them and say they're losers.
Come on, suckers.
I got my dice. I'm out of here. But that'll do it for this week. Yeah. So where can people find you?
On social media places. I'm Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where if I'm not too tired to post stuff, I'll be posting something.
Nice.
Hopefully playtest rules of that little war game eventually.
Oh, nice. Yes, and keep us up to date on what's going on there.
So how about you?
And yes, I still haven't. I will be doing, but I haven't done my July live stream yet. But
it's not July yet.
Yeah, look for that. So yeah, I'll have to do it maybe end of June to get ready for all the publishing dates. But I'll do Abuse Cartoons, so my single panel gag cartoon. And if you want to read that cartoon, you can go to GoComics. So gocomics.com/domestic abuse.
20 years.
Yes, 20 years of comics, thousands of those things. Oof. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a weakling.
Hey, I missed my cue. I was busy reading the screen. The strongest of all supporters, right?
Yes, at patreon.com/upturntable.
Just proof that we don't pre-record.
Yes, we're not. It's live. And you can become a patron at that tier to tell us what you like to see on the weekly. finally had a revelation here. I should probably move this chat over because there's nobody at that other microphone. Let's see if we can reorganize this scene a little bit. Hopefully get it to be more functional. Yes, and the other unfortunate thing is when I switch scenes, it deletes all your chat. The messages are no longer on screen. But how is everybody doing? Okay, 5, thank you. 29 months as a member on YouTube. Thank you so much. Abyss has got to be getting up there too. Hopefully the timing will work out. But yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Are we good on audio? It's a different scene. Yeah, I think we're okay. My microphone is giving me kind of low levels, so I'm worried I'm picking it up from somewhere else. But it assures me that it's the mixer itself. So let me know if this sounded weird. I'm recording it locally as well as an experiment to see. But yeah, so Chris went in on Outgunned Adventure, so we could be doing some of that face-to-face one of these days. Yeah, good to see you, Orcus. Yes, isn't that insane? I wonder who's backing this, because it doesn't seem... I guess they're all doing kind of well on YouTube, so maybe everyone's just kind of chipping in for the... kind of a team effort to fund this thing. But yeah, this Heretic Hunt thing is crazy goofy. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be keeping you up to date. We've got yeah. So thank you to Chris from Idlewood Hands, who donated a very large screen. So we have I think 44-inch a TV now that we can watch things on either the computer or DVDs and Blu-rays, and we can then do like live reactions and stuff. So that should help add some additional content, some fun stuff. I got a couple ideas of things we should go back to, and it's nice if we do it here. We can do both live contributors and online contributors. We can include webcams and stuff because the internet will support that. So that's good. So Matt was saying, I'm liking the outgun system a lot. My only concern, oh yeah, that's right, is accommodating campaign. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm curious if there's and there's always people trying to make systems do things that they weren't intended to. So we'll see if someone comes up with a way to kind of have unlimited play with outgunned characters. I'm thinking too all that we've ever played, and the thing that I like the most for the Alien RPG, the Free League Alien RPG, is their cinematic adventures. And so I'm wondering how that plays as well. That might be kind of a limitation for some of these games. And I wonder if that's it's kind of filling people that can't get together very often and want to play something kind of fun with cinematic character deaths and things that are a little more dramatic and fun, and not like invest all this time in a character and have them die in a longer campaign. I wonder if that is filling a gap for what D&D is not doing, or I wonder if that's making people try it and then go back to 5e. I don't know. So we'll see. But Hollow Earth, yes, yeah, we played. Yeah, Chris ran the Ubiquity Hollow Earth. That was fun. Yeah, but now I think some of the ideas will be changed a lot. As Chris was saying, Mothership is more Event Horizon than Alien for me. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, and I want to see if it can play like Dead Space too. I like that idea of the strange artifact that creates frenzied mutant zombies. So we'll have to see. Warhammer 5e actual play. Yeah, how to troll everybody. Yeah, it's not going to make anybody happy. Everyone is going to be, I think, complaining and pissed off. But you can see they're going for the biggest, easiest targets. Those are two huge audiences because, they couldn't possibly eat up more. And then with their legitimacy as former Games Workshop employees, and they're just doing it. Oh, Matt's wife calls them dollies too. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, crass business decision. I think you're right, Matt. As Orcus is saying, so what happens when you take D&D archetypes and put them in the middle of a hive world? Hilarity ensues Fridays at 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 Central. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I wonder, I don't know. Because they already are thinking of this as packaging and content that they want to release certain ways. So we'll see. But, yes. So, follow Chris on Blue Sky if you want to read that whole rant. Johnny Dangerously. Nice. Yeah, but if they could get Netflix or even the CW to pick them up, they would be so happy. Oy. The legends told of his return. Oh man. So we'll see. And I'm really curious. It looks beautiful. Like always Chaosium produces nice looking books. I want to get my hands on the 6th edition Pendragon book and see what's doing. That's cool. Oh, Orcus says, actually, it's not duplication. It's the 2 scenarios that were cut from the starter set. Oh, thank you, Orcus. Okay, thank you. So, I should probably put put a pop-up on the screen. It is no redundancy. Okay, so it's scenarios that were cut. Oh, nice. Well, that's good. And I guess they work well with the Grey Knight. Nice. If they would have fit in the box, they would have been included. That's great. Exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. Outgunned Two Little Mice did a much better version of what Evil Genius is trying to do. And they're going at it the crassest possible way. So obviously they, figured out their cheapest licensing ways, because they're not printing comics. They probably negotiated these really cheap licensing terms just to include some things in an RPG supplement, but have it, include all the, copyrights and trademarks and official licensing. And now they're going to NFT it. That's just crazy. And how there can't even legally be I guess if it's only in terms of in this game you have Rambo's M60, like I don't know how they're going to do that, but I don't think there's a lot of studios that are going to be anxious to get involved in a blockchain and have their trademarks and copyrights involved. So but I like that, and I think having the genres, like having the action flick genres with the serial numbers, kind of rubbed off, so you can make it your own and kind of play in that, and not only that, but mash up different genres, is a much better approach. And I like their more outsider, innocent approach. They're Europeans looking in at American, Hollywood blockbuster pop culture, and I have a more, I think, honest approach to it, much less cynical and cash grabby. I paid $200 for this gun. It's not going to jam on me. I refuse to accept that role. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Isn't the NFT thing kind of over? Who is still trying to do this? Yeah, so they're still having conventions and stuff to fool people into adopting this. Yeah, so I think we're watching. Yeah, this is kind of late. Abyss, nice. I didn't see you there. This is late Empire Evil Genius. We're watching the demise. I mean, they're just gonna gut this company because I guess they think it has value because however long this term of these licenses that they hold for all of these movies that they somehow have rights for everyday heroes. We'll see. Matt is saying, I might be the only person who liked Elysium, but I think we are headed for that reality. Not Matt Damon in a power suit. So speaking of the free RPG, so Matt says, my friendly local game store wants you to participate in an event to get free stuff. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that last year, or like in previous free RPG days, is like they don't want to just have a table where you can pick up some new stuff for you to try to then possibly, in the future buy stuff from them if you liked the system. They want you to jump on one leg and throw a beanbag through a hoop and do all kinds of trade shows have gotten like that too. I'm not sure what if Gen Con or anything, but It used to be they would just be throwing T-shirts and stickers and whatever at you at booths, and then it became, okay, it's a scavenger hunt, and all this like nonsense where they get you to get over involved. Uh-oh. Did we lose? Oh, did we go out again? Oh, are you serious? We died again? Let me see what's doing here. Sorry. I'm babbling to no one. The ramble goes No, it's still... It's not telling me how long, but it started... 62 minutes ago. Yeah, I think we did. So it's a two-parter. Well, I'm glad I'm recording the audio locally, so we'll be able to have a decent one-piece podcast go out. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't see that. Did that happen after Chris? Maybe when Chris popped out. Ugh. Well, maybe the internet is not reliable enough to do that much with it. Shoot. Well, let me see if I can get back to it here. Yeah, right. Oh, we shouldn't have talked. Shouldn't have talked NFTs. Interesting. Nice. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Oh, Abyss got his mothership today, but apparently me and tons of others got patches for clothing and a random book. Oh, nice. You got some extra goodies. Oh, that's cool. Maybe is that an apology? Maybe they threw some stuff in there. Oh, no one can hear me. Oh, no. Uh-oh. No one can hear me. I can hear me. Oh, no. Is it not going out? Let me double check here. What is happening? Check. Yeah. Oh, that is weird. It's not picking up particularly well. Great. Well, this is awesome. Well, tune in to the wonderful audio only version. Shoot. Oh, we can hear you. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, sorry. Oh, we can hear. Okay, good. We can hear you. Okay, yeah, it's yeah, I didn't see. I guess, yeah, I have to have not only the monitor of like what we're putting out, but I have to have the monitor of what's actually showing up. And I wonder if YouTube is being a little sensitive, because I don't think I've had a longer live stream that hasn't dropped, and that's both from home and the office. So, yikes. Sorry about that. Well, hey, good to see you, Miguel. Sorry. Reading too quickly in the chat. But, yeah, so we've got the audio. Well, good. Yeah, so what else? So who was giving there was a couple of people giving away dice as well. For the free RPG. Yeah, it's not easy to see everything at once, but they did a fun little like pop-up of all of the participating members. Oh, your Legend of Dritz dice set is available from Serious Dice, spelled with an I, not an E. And of course, yeah, WizKids is giving more away, some of their pre-painted nonsense. A Topaz Dragon Wormling. Oh, Strahd is there. So I forgot to bug Chris about this before. So all the leaks and the release schedule and everything for the 5.5e, whatever they're calling it, books are coming out. That was a really weird decision, and I guess it's just the regular covers. They're doing, alternative covers as well. But that's weird that they're leaning into these characters that were created. I thought, like those characters from the 80s that they made, like Warduke and that half-orc assassin and all the nonsense. Those don't think they made it, or maybe they made like minor appearances in the animated series. I think they may have been in comic books, but I don't think they were included in any adventures. In any modules or anything. I may be wrong about that. I don't remember. But it's weird that they're leaning on those, and it probably is just corporate or legal advice that you own these things outright. Dragonlance and all this other stuff, you may have some problem with. Yeah, so those are just the toys, right? Yeah, so, but I think they did some other things with the properties. Why are they putting those on the cover of their books? I mean, they own those things, definitely. They own those names and characters, but yeah, that's weird. So those are their, iconic, recognizable, because it's just nostalgia baiting, and it's weird. I don't, and how they put, who's the big bad in the cartoon with the one horn? Whatever, something that ends in er. So it's weird that I guess just for nostalgia's sake, I guess if they could have, they would have put the cast of Stranger Things on the cover, or whatever, or Elliot's big brother from E.T. But I thought that was a really weird choice, and I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's like Easter eggs, or for people that, because I think the whole generation, everyone that's played 5e, they have nothing. They don't know any of that. The newer players, younger, newer players, people that discovered D&D through 5e have no idea what that is. They're going to go back, and then suddenly Warduke is going to become the cool Venger. Thank you. Become the coolest character ever. Yeah. So why is Venger on the cover of is it the Dungeon Master's Guide? One of the books has Venger on it. Is it really? Why? I don't know. I don't get what they're doing, other than the fact that, yeah, we own these things, so no, we're not gonna. They are recognizably D&D, even though they're characters we haven't done anything with ever besides make some plastic in the 80s. Although I did see in Japan, a huge vinyl, like a, I don't know, 14, 16-inch Warduke. At a hobby shop in Japan. So somebody licensed that for some reason, some Japanese toy manufacturer, and it wasn't even that expensive for how those things usually are, but I don't know what that's for. It's just, weird nostalgia stuff. Yes, Tiamat was the true star of the show. You are right, Miguel. The DM was, Dungeon Master was the true villain. Featuring the voice talents of Donnie Most. Yeah, it's a weird thing to, I guess, though, they have been one of those revival figure places has been doing figures of the animated cast and stuff. It's very weird to me. Matt's a big fan. I love it when all the Saturday morning cartoon characters, all the animals are voiced by like the same old voice actor guy. So dogs and unicorns and everything are bleeding. Yeah, I think it's really weird. I don't think that's a very I guess they're just working with what they got, and they don't got a lot. The creative contributions from a lot of other people. Yeah, it's very funny the way that they're doing that. What was the other? That was the other thing I wanted to. I got sidetracked with teasing Chris about the releases. It doesn't sound. I mean, they are kind of drip feeding stuff out there, and a lot of the big D&D YouTubers are covering, there's 48 subclasses and there's this and that. So we'll see. And they're also, somebody was talking about there's a huge push for pre-ordering. They're trying to make that without offering really anything, like without giving you a reason, a special anything, or a reason to pre-order. They just want to get their numbers kind of, known, I think. Yeah, goat with a fake horn. I think so, yeah. The Uni-san, Uni, that's right. Uni sounded like a goat very much, like an old man impersonating a goat. But yeah, I just we're in for. I mean, all they have is their fast channel, but we're maybe in for a revival of that cartoon, because they revived the 90s X-Men. So if they stay popular enough, Wizards might spend some money. Although they lost, they had that show so they canceled the series. They canceled their streaming series, or no, it was the streamer that canceled it. They greenlit it, and then they canceled the whatever 6 episodes or 8 episodes, and I think that's because they're involved in being bought out. Paramount Plus or whoever it was, involved in being bought out. So Miguel said, according to people that worked on the D&D show, the knight was not going to be the stupid kid until executives insisted that the show had one to sell the kids. Yeah, all kinds of stupid morals. Oh, right. Yes. Oh, no. Seriously? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, the Star Wars TTRPG putting the Christmas, the holidays special, characters on the core cover. Oh, that's brutal. Wow. Well, you have to observe Life Day. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, I guess it's just trying to, anything they can do to get you to like, ha. You see the camera. Ha. Okay, I'll click add to cart because I went at the thumbnail for the cover. Yeah, it's depressing. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and they had to. Yeah, all cartoons had to do that because it was horrible, violent Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry cartoons. We had to suddenly make programming for children educational. So yeah, everything had to have a. So he had those awesome G.I. Joe lessons at the end of every that have been memed into oblivion. Yeah, that was really weird. If it has to, kind of like a Hays Code thing, the villain has to die. Criminals, everyone has to be punished. That's morally wrong. They started doing that in the 80s. First cutting out all of the contact in any Warner Brothers or Tom and Jerry cartoon, and then always having a lesson. And that's funny that kind of even though they don't have to do that, like Clone Wars and stuff still had that kind of thing where they had at the beginning, they had their, together. It's like, I guess they were like supposed to be like Jedi proverbs or whatever, but working together, cooperation is always, it wasn't worded that way, as worded like fake Star Wars way, but cooperation is always the best way, or, all those, endless moralizing that we heard in the 80s. Yeah, right. The morals that half the time will create stupid kids rather than kids that are ready to face the real world. Nice. Yes. I think that's, be careful what rides you get on at local carnivals, and don't trust, tiny strange men. Yeah. That's really odd. I wonder what their numbers are going to be like. And it always these like the core 3 books have much more legs, their sustained sales much more as people get into them or switch over. But I wonder how many holdovers there's going to be, and then how many people that are early adopters and people that jump right in because they have to be playing the most recent rule set. And then we're going to hear, as soon as these books start coming out, then we're going to hear the problems if people are in the middle of current 5e campaigns, how difficult it was to switch and how not really backwards compatible it was. Promises. Yeah, we'll have to see. So what was the other we were talking about? Shoot. Yeah, there's one more game or one more thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, so we got Dune. Yeah, more Dune tomorrow. Yeah, I've been working feverishly trying to create some horrible problems for the players to get into. So we had kind of a session 0 last week where we kind of did an act break reset, and we're going to jump ahead 10 years, and so I'll kind of like reiterate all that for everybody, and then have the players contribute anything that they've thought of in the meantime, or anything they wanted to kind of retcon or kind of fix that happened during those the 10 years. So it's fun because we'll move stuff up. We're getting closer, not much closer because we started 75 years before, but we're getting a little bit closer to the powers and things that kind of aligned themselves to create the handover, the House Atreides handover of Arrakis. So those things are all, the kind of early stages of a lot of that stuff is in play. So it's fun to see what the Dune, what the players are going to get up to as far as how they're going to participate in some of these events. And like I said, we've got married players now, and we've got a father, an heir. We've got the Swords Master has an heir now. So we'll see how that continues. So we are capable of generational play at some point. And there may be some interesting options. Don't tell Will, but there may be some interesting options for Will coming up as well. But so I've been kind of binging the. It's good because it's like watching B movies and like kind of trashy, kind of lower level pop culture stuff to get inspiration for RPGs. I've just been binging a lot of the Brian Herbert stuff. And the thing that I like about it is it's given me confidence to make some creative decisions and do things within the campaign with what we're doing, because I don't think I could have done things as poorly as they did. There are some scenes and some details in those books that are so stupid. Like, they're just insane. Like, you can't imagine that he's the inheritor of this world and adding these things. Like, there's a shipment of commemorative coins that was stolen off of a highliner, and some graffiti was spray painted on it. There was like some really, really stupid details for the emperor. I think it's like Shaddam the Fourth is the one that they were he had just gained power, just taken power, and they were talking about the unrest and everything, and it was so stupid. It was really like, it didn't feel like Dune, and it felt really kind of like basic bitch sci-fi choices that they were making. So it gave me some confidence to make some fun decisions and not feel like I was gonna break anything, because I'm not encouraging it, but the Talaxu may play a role. Yeah, there's some really fun tensions, and I want to. They did some world building, kind of fleshing out the Butlerian Jihad and things that happened even prior to the war against the machines in the Dune world. And I think there's some interesting things to include, because I've already made references to old Terran artifacts and stuff. So we'll reach back a little further. It's only 10,000 years. We'll reach back 10,000 years in history and see if there's anything we can pull from there. Yes, that's right, Matt. That's what Matt's character is working up for. That's going to be the reveal. Oh, yes, he was embedded in House Harkonnen, but they, there's a funny. Oh, interesting. Oh, yes. So Jack has determined never to go to Arrakis. So this will be interesting. Who goes and who stays, because there are things afoot at your holdings, of course, things that may need your personal attention. We'll see. That would be funny. We have to pick characters, and they have to be from the David Lynch version, but you have to pick some background character that's that's what eventually happens to you. Oh yeah, I was standing there now. Oh no! In 5e? Oh no! Is that what? So Miguel said, "Did you hear that orcs are themed as Mexicans now?" No, I have not. Oh no, that's like the that horrible Netflix special or limited. I think it was a limited series. Was it a movie or limited series? The Will Smith cop drama with the fantasy, the kind of fantasy take. Where the fantasy races were represented in Los Angeles various ways. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, that's weird. Behavior ruckus. Essentially, I think the characters. I think the Dune player characters are the A team. So we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun kind of establishing what they want to do next. So I'll kind of lay things out and see which ways they want to go, because they'll be kind of hopefully what I'm going to try to have happen, a little bit of a preview for Matt, is have enough stuff going on kind of simultaneously that it's like plates spinning, and you guys have to decide what you want to address, and if stuff is let go, then it'll have certain consequences, and if there's stuff that you guys personally attend to, you'll have more control if you go someplace. Just like when you guys took the initiative and just went straight to Giddy Prime to retrieve the heiress. That kind of stuff will put things more in your control, but you can't be every place at once. And so hopefully there'll be some fun stuff Fun stuff going on. Yes. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wonder. That's an interesting. Yeah, we're gonna. I guess we'll see that because we haven't seen all of the art, so we'll see how they flavor their new species, right? Because they're all species now. They can't. So wait, does that mean? So they did do that, right? When D&D made the change to move to species, that means there are no half races anymore. There's no half elves and half orcs anymore. Because if everything's a separate species, they don't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what. I wonder how they're gonna try to retheme, and it's all. I can't even imagine some of the meetings. They should be forced. That should be part of the responsibility to shareholders. They need to record and make public all of their meetings where they're making all of these stupid ass decisions. You know what they're going to change, what they have to avoid, like all of the landmines, like like kind of social media stuff. They don't want to step in and make it make it as safe and unoffensive and anodyne as possible. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so we'll see what this all ends up being. So we have a grim dark Necromunda powered by 5e, actual play coming, and the new books will slowly be coming out. Oh, and yeah, that's right. I posted a kind of flip through. So Griff from Fellowship of the Thing was kind enough to send me an early printer's proof copy of Blackmoor Foundations, and comparing this to probably what what they're going to do with the making of D&D, the $100 coffee table book they're producing. This is really gorgeous scans of original documents, all from all of Dave Arneson's original documents, and things that kind of were early days of Blackmoor and how he announced events in the happening in the world, and a whole it's like a 12-page like single space typewritten pages of fiction that he wrote to kind of set the to give you a feeling of the setting. There's a lot of like really good archival stuff, and it's so good. Not only someone like John Peterson is involved in getting access to these original documents and reproducing them in his books, but Griff with the book that Griff is working on, they did the Foundations book did a really good job of presenting the documents and then having commentary. So it's kind of like if you've had any books like literature with commentary. So it's the facing page, and then the side will have a going to give you context and history of what you're looking at, so you can just examine the actual reproduction of the document and then have some context. So good stuff. So yeah, Orcus is taken off. So see you. Thanks for hanging in the chat, Orcus. Good to see you as always. Oh no, the chat is frozen. It's skipping stuff. Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna probably have to do some experiments. I wonder if some of the going dead and stuff is Restream's responsibility. We may try another platform. I don't know. I think they all suck. May try another platform though and see if we get better connectivity, because there is supposed to be a Japanese server with Restream that we're connecting to, but maybe that's not connected to the rest of the world. Who knows? Maybe only people seeing it in Japan. Good. Oh wow. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. Yeah, crazy. All right, well, let's wrap things up. Yeah, so Dune tomorrow, and so yeah, we'll be wrapping up about this time tomorrow. So yeah, closer to 8 p.m. West Coast time in the U.S. and around noon if you're here in Japan, and thereabouts if you're Australia, all that good stuff. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me, and thank you so much to the patrons and members for hanging with us and making this all possible. Yeah, all the donations, even the TV donations are appreciated. So if you have any old TVs you're willing to ship over, yeah, it's nice now. We've got 3 monitors, so I can like reference stuff directly and read from it. And then we've got the big monitors showing what we're putting out. And then we took a look at the free RPG day on the TV. Yes, the TV hopefully will be an option to let us do more interactive stuff. I would love to get back to some movie mining. If you saw any of those old videos under Red Hands, movie mining is pretty fun. Like we're talking about taking inspiration. So not necessarily great movies. We can look back at some of the crappy fantasy movies of the 80s and 90s and say, like, what can you take from this to kind of inspire you for doing your own stuff? So yeah, so thank you to everyone, and we will be back again next week. So tomorrow for some June, and yeah, thank you so much. Take care, and see you next time. Goodbye.